Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online class Ekalaiva. Standard 12, Subject Economics, Lesson 6, Banking. This is the concept map of this lesson, what all we are going to learn in this lesson. The overall main learning objectives are the functions of central bank, commercial bank, and non-banking financial institutions. He is Culbertson, who had given the definition for banking. Introduction we have already seen. The historical development also we have completed learning. The history of Indian banks also we have completed learning. How it is merged. Okay, and they are called as presidential banks, and all these presidential banks merged together become Imperial Bank of India in 1921, and then it is changed into 1955 as SBI, State Bank of India. Commercial banks. Today we are going to talk about commercial banks and its functions. Commercial bank refers to a bank or a division of a large bank which more specifically deals with the deposits and loans services provided to the corporations, or in another way we can say large middle-sized business as opposed to individual members of the public small business. They do not provide long-term credit as liquidity of assets is to be maintained. What are the functions of commercial banks? There are three functions of commercial banks. One is primary functions, second one is secondary function, and third one is other functions. Again, these primary functions are being divided into two: accepting deposits and advancing loans. Secondary functions have been divided into four. They are agency services, general utility services, transfer of funds, and credit creation. Other functions are money supply, credit creation, and collection of statistics. So far, we have completed all these things. Let us go in detail about the functions of commercial banks. Functions of commercial banks. First one, primary functions. Under primary functions, two headings are there: accepting deposits and advancing loans. Again, under accepting deposits, there are two subdivisions. Okay? Accepting deposits. It implies that commercial banks are mainly dependent on public deposits. There are two types of deposits which are discussed as follows. Number one, demand deposits. It refers to the deposits that can be withdrawn by individuals without any prior notice to the bank. In other words, the owners of these deposits are allowed to withdraw the money anytime by writing a withdrawal slip or a check at the bank counter or from ATM centers using debit card. That means any individual who is deposited in money in the bank can withdraw at any time, either going inside the bank by writing and giving the withdrawal slip or check, or he can take it his own money from the ATM centers by using debit card. Time deposits. It refers to the deposits that are made for certain committed period of time. Banks pay higher interest on time deposits. These deposits can be withdrawn only after a specific time period by providing a written notice to the bank. Bank will ask us to sign in an agreement that the period, how many years or months you can keep your amount in the bank. That is time deposits. And for this time deposits, the rate of interest will be given by the banks little bit higher than the demand deposits. Advancing loans. It refers to the granting loans to the individuals and business. Commercial banks grant loans in the form of overdraft, cash credit, and discounting the bills of exchange. Secondary functions. Secondary functions, again, it has been divided into four: agency function, general utility function, and transfer of funds, letter of credit. Under agency function, again, three divisions are there. Number one, collecting checks, then collecting income, and third one is paying expenses. General utility functions are again divided into three: providing locker facilities, issuing travelers' checks, and third one, dealing in foreign exchange. Transfer of funds. This one you know very well. Okay. Next one, letter of credit. Under letter of credit, there are two subdivisions: underwriting securities and electronic banking. Let us go in detail about the secondary functions. The secondary functions can be classified under three heads, namely agency function, general utility services, and other functions. Yes, agency functions. Under again agency functions, there are three subdivisions. Number one, collecting checks. Bank collect the checks and the bills of exchange on behalf of their customers through clearing house facilities provided by the central bank. Number two, collecting income. Commercial banks collect the dividends, pension, salaries, rents, and the interest on investment on behalf of their customers. A credit voucher is sent to the customers for the information when any income is collected by the bank. Third one, paying expenses. Commercial banks make the payments of various obligations of the customers. What are they? Such as telephone bills, insurance premium, school fees, and rents. Similar to credit voucher, a debit voucher is sent to the customer for information when expenses are paid by the bank. Again, under general utility functions, we have subheadings. Okay, it implies that commercial banks provide some utility services to the customers by performing various functions. Number one, providing locker facilities. Commercial banks provide locker facilities to its customers for safe custody of jewelry, shares, debentures, and other valuable items. This minimizes the risk of loss due to the theft at homes. Banks are not responsible for the items in the lockers. Number two, issuing travelers' checks. Banks issue travelers' checks to the individuals for traveling outside the country. Travelers' checks are the safe and easy way to protect money while traveling. Number three, dealing in foreign exchange. Commercial banks help in providing foreign exchange to the businessmen dealing in exports and imports. However, commercial banks need to take the permission of the central bank for dealing in foreign exchange. Third function, transferring funds. It refers the transferring of funds from one bank to another. Funds are transferred by means of draft, telephonic transfer, and electronic transfer. That means we can transfer the amount from one account to another account. Letter of credit. Commercial banks issue letters of credit to their customers to satisfy their credit worthiness. Under letter of credit, again two subdivisions are there. Number one, underwriting securities, and number two, electronic banking. Underwriting securities. Commercial banks are also undertake the task of underwriting securities. As public has full faith in the credit worthiness of the banks, public do not hesitate in buying the securities underwritten by the banks. So they will buy. Number two, electronic banking. It includes services such as debit cards, credit cards, and internet banking. Now, let us come to the last other functions. First, we have seen primary functions, and secondly, we have seen secondary functions. Now, we are going to talk about other functions. Other functions are so many, just let us see only the important ones. Number one, money supply. Number two, credit creation. Number three, collection of statistics. Money supply. It refers to one of the important functions of commercial banks that help in increasing money supply. For instance, a bank lends rupees 5 lakhs to an individual and opens a demand deposit in the name of that individual. Bank makes a credit entry of 5 lakhs in that account. This leads to the creation of demand deposit in that account. The point to be noted here is that there is no payment in cash. Thus, without printing additional money, the supply of money is increased. Number two, credit creation, which is very important function, which in this lesson itself will be talking the difference between RR and triple R, a repo rate and reverse repo rate. Now, if you understand credit creation, you will understand the difference between RR and triple R. Credit creation means the multiplications of loans and advances. Commercial banks receive deposits from the public and use these deposits to give loans. However, loans offered are many times more than the deposits received by the banks. This function of banks is known as credit creation. I'll be telling you by giving an example in detail in next class. Third one, collection of statistics. Banks collect and publish statistics relating to trade, commerce, and industry. Hence, they advise the customers and the public authorities on financial matters. That's all for the day for your class children. Thank you, children. Have a nice day. Let us see in next class.